Let me start with an idea that sounds mystical, but is actually deeply psychological. There exists a metaphorical energy field from which all human desire arises. Not a spiritual one in the religious sense, but a cognitive and social one. A distributed network of desires, expectations, hopes, and imagined futures spread across every mind you encounter. That means everybody. Every conversation you enter, every room you walk into, every crowd, every relationship. And this is the intriguing part. Some people seem able to tap into this field effortlessly. Others never do. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack ambition, but because they do not understand their own ego. You see, very few people will acknowledge they have an ego. That statement alone should raise alarm bells. Because the ego is not the loud, arrogant caricature we imagine. It is not just pride or vanity. The ego is more subtle. It is the part of the mind that pretends it is you. It narrates your thoughts, it defends your opinions, it reacts when you feel ignored, challenged, or undervalued. It's the part of you that feels insulted on your behalf. And because it speaks in your own voice, you rarely notice it at all, because it's you. This is why acknowledging the ego is so difficult. You cannot easily see what is pretending to be your entire identity. It's a psychological illusion. Effectively, you feel it's you. Now, here's the experiment that you can do to check. What happens if, just for a moment, you turn the ego down? Not destroy it, not suppress it permanently. Just pause it for a little while. And when you do, something remarkable happens. You start noticing things outside of you because your attention stops orbiting around yourself and begins orienting outwards towards patterns, towards people, other people, towards desire. This is when you gain access to what we might call the desire field, the shared mental space where human wants live. Because every person you meet is saturated with desire, unlimited desire. Everybody. The entire purpose of life, biologically and psychologically, is the endless pursuit of desire. As soon as one is satisfied, another takes its place, consciously and unconsciously, awake and asleep, known and unknown. Even now, as these words land in your mind, micro desires are firing. Understanding, agreement, resistance, curiosity, anticipation of what comes next. Desire is constant, relentless, automatic. It's always working in the background. This brings us to one of the simplest and most ignored laws ever discovered. You can get what you want so long as you first help others get what they want. Most people hear this and immediately corrupt it. They focus on what they want and rush the process. But the power lies in that other half of the sentence. Help others. There are countless ways to do this, but the easiest and most profound is this. Help people gain clarity about their own desires. Ask them what they want, then listen. Not to respond, not to impress, not to insert your own story in there. Just listen. When you orient someone else's attention towards the future, towards possibility, it activates something ancient in that human brain. Despite what cynicism tells us, humans are, all of us, are wired for optimism for ourselves. Those without positive future expectations simply didn't survive long enough to pass those genes on. When you invite someone to articulate what they want, you awaken momentum inside them. You activate the desire field. Now, here is the most important fail. Most people fail at this. They listen to the desire of others just long enough to inject themselves into the conversation. Their ego, bang, interrupts. Here's what I think, they say. Here's my experience. And here's how this affects me. Me. The moment this happens, the field collapses. But if you can refrain, control it, if you can hold back your own ego just for a few minutes, something more powerful occurs. The other person feels seen, understood, psychologically validated. This triggers the law of reciprocity. When someone feels held at the level of desire, not action, not advice, but understanding, they want to return the favor. They become interested in you, in your goals, in your ideas, your desires. They want to help you get what you want. That might mean buying your product, supporting your vision, trusting you, choosing you. Why this is rare and powerful, you might ask. This process is astonishingly simple and incredibly effective, yet it is out of reach for most people. Why? Because most people would rather die than give up their own ego. Even briefly, the ego demands recognition, control, validation. But those who could suspend it, even temporarily, gain access to something far greater. You see examples of helpful people having a line of others falling over themselves to help them. That's influence without force, connection without manipulation, desire without coercion. And the rewards for mastering this are enormous. Not because you dominate others, but because you finally understand how human desire truly works. And once you see it, you can never unsee it.